If you can't convince them, just confuse them. What's up, YouTube? My name is Shadow Shadnick, and I want to thank you for clicking on this video. And while you're at it, why not go ahead and give me one more click and like the video? It's completely free, and I'll tell you what, I'll make you a promise. As long as you're watching, I'll keep on uploading. Now, the gameplay in the background is a search and destroy game on Scrapyard. I love Scrapyard. It's from the OG Modern Warfare 2. Very fun map to play on. I start off with the BP50, but I believe I switched to an MCW relatively shortly after this round. Now, the game, I don't want to spoil the end, but you definitely want to stick around for the end of this game. I am playing in this game with my fellow streamer and friend, Killstealer89. Definitely follow him on Twitch. He has a son with autism, so if you're against the fight for autism, definitely give him a follow over there. And I hope this video finds you well as we approach the end of 2024. I wanted to take a moment to reflect on the year because it kind of seemed like it moved very, very quickly. Personally, for me, it seems like 2024 has been a blur. I've been enjoying myself streaming and making these YouTube videos for you guys, which I have to throw out the plug. I am almost affiliate on Twitch myself, so if you have the time, please go over and pop over there and give me a follow. I am streaming Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on Twitch, as well as Kick and YouTube. But again, heads up, next Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, unless I'm able to play Black Ops 6 early, I will not be streaming. I'm going to be taking care of a couple of things around the apartment and, getting my life in order to stream Black Ops 6 once it releases. Again, I am going to be trying to do minimally a 24-hour stream, trying to go for 48 hours. We'll see what ends up happening. But again, I wanted to take a moment to reflect on 2024 because a lot has happened this year. A lot has happened and time has moved very, very quickly, especially if you're a busy human being like myself. I mean, the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef was this year. Now, it feels like the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef, for the most part, was this year. But it's weird because that beef, also, the seeds of it were kind of planted in the decade prior. I mean, Kendrick Lamar and Drake didn't just start going at each other in 2024. They had kind of been subliminally dissing each other for a long time now. It just kind of seemed to pop off and explode in 2024. Which was absolutely insanity, whether you're a Drake fan or a Kendrick fan, just to see all of that actually play out and see both of them directly go at each other is absolutely crazy. And it happened this year, and it kind of has died down, obviously, now that we're entering October in the twilight of 2024, but it almost feels like it didn't happen too at the same time. It's really kind of crazy. But yeah, the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef was 2024, and you could almost make that a theme that, like, a couple of things that have happened and exploded in 2024, the seeds were kind of planted in the years prior. It's not like everything happened in 2024. It just seemed like the most explosive things happened in 2024. For instance, the P. Diddy stuff that's gone down recently. At the beginning of the year in January 2024, Cat Williams, the comedian, had an interview with Shannon Sharpe on his podcast. And he was the one that kind of was the first big public figure to kind of call Diddy out on his stuff. Don't get me wrong. 50 Cent has been, saying things, and other people have been observing for a long, long time. But Cat Williams was the first one to say, like, no, this is what he's doing. This is what he's trying to do. And it got to everyone. That interview did millions upon millions of views. And here we are in October, and P. Diddy is now arrested. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's just insane how that whole thing played out. And it went from Cat Williams, calling him out in the interview to his house is being raided, to him being absolutely made complete fun of and complete meme on the internet, to him actually getting arrested by the feds. It's just mind-blowing, the whole timeline of that. Again, seeds planted decades prior. I mean, P. Diddy has been doing these things for a very long time, but he only just now got into a whole bunch of trouble for it. It's just really kind of crazy. And again, continuing on with that theme, you got the Dr. Disrespect situation. He got in trouble for, I literally banned on Twitch for what he got banned on Twitch for. Again, I don't want to go in the nitty ditty details, but a lot has happened with that didn't necessarily happen just this year. I mean, he got banned 4 years ago for something that happened in 2017. And it's a long list of things, but it exploded this year to him, like, actually admitting to doing things. It's just absolutely crazy. And again, continuing that theme, you got to talk about Mr. Beast. The rumblings haven't been that loud in the years previous of 2024 about Mr. Beast in terms of, sexual misconduct allegations at his company, his Mr. Beast games. That's a new thing. But I mean, things like that haven't really been, loudly broadcast to the world. But there have been rumblings about him, faking his videos and, are his views bot based? Like, what's going on, with the whole Mr. Beast? It's just, everyone kind of feels like there's something weird going on with him. And kind of cutting back to this situation with the Lunchly, I find it really interesting because the Lunchly idea on paper to me is actually kind of genius. Let me say that. Now I'm going to crush them for it, but at the same time, on paper, you're telling me you're taking a very successful product in Prime and you're taking another successful product in Mr. Feastable's chocolate candy, and you're trying to find a way to combine them together and sell them, bundle them together. Now, where they completely dropped the ball, in my opinion, was, well, two ways. Was one, trying to replicate Lunchables, which is a bad move. But also two, this is where they completely dropped the ball, was also trying to claim that they were healthier than Lunchables, because no one really asked for this. I mean, Lunchables aren't really healthy to begin with, but no one was like, oh, we got to find a healthier version of Lunchables. Like, no, that's Mr. Beast crew. Like, yeah, KSI and Logan Paul are involved, but Mr. Beast, everything he does always has to have some weird philanthropic twist to it. Like, he can't just do things for money, even though that's what he kind of wants at the end of the day. Like, I know his goal is to be the biggest YouTuber of all time, but it's okay if you're the biggest YouTuber of all time that has 300 million people subscribe to your YouTube channel, and it's okay if you just want to sell something. I don't think that anybody's that upset about that. It's more so that you try to claim that it's healthier, and then you're really just releasing a product that's almost identical to Lunchables, which is already out there. It's kind of weird. Again, I want to reiterate my stance on it. The idea of pairing their products of Prime and Mr. Feastable's chocolate candy, trying to bundle those together in some way to get people to buy them together, to me is a good idea on paper. I think it's a genius idea if you can execute it, but I think they had really poor execution on that plan. And that's just an easy transition into the fact that KSI's meltdown on the internet just continues. I mean, he's still talking about and quoting DTM in some instances about completely other irrelevant scenarios. He literally used a tweet that that's living rent free in his head. He like actually quoted it out and like tried to spin it against somebody else. He is losing his mind. We are literally watching a 30-year-old man melt before our eyes. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Now, obviously the things that have happened this year, it's been a lot. And if I missed anything, because again, there's a lot has happened this year. I mean, we could go on and on and on. I mean, there's the Hawk Tua situation. We can go on and on and on. There's a lot of things that have happened this year. If I missed anything, definitely drop me a comment down below. Maybe next week I'll go into further depth of some of these other situations that have happened in 2024. But I kind of wanted to just throw out a few predictions or just kind of talk about some of the expectations for the rest of 2024. We only have about 2 months left, and I want to start off with music just because there's a bunch of music that has dropped kind of all year in 2024, but especially kind of coming up here in the end of the year, because what happens is we're in October. There's only 2 months left. There's only so many Fridays for music to be released on. These big artists are trying to avoid releasing their albums on the same Friday. So you got these weird situations where people are teasing their albums and saying something's going to be released, but then they might actually delay the album for whatever reason, maybe the sample clearance issues, but also because they're probably not trying to drop on the same weekend as another big artist. And two of my favorite artists that are kind of trying to drop at the same time, actually kind of three of them, is Yeat and Ken Carson. I think they're both kind of trying to drop similar time to kind of see which fan base has the stronger fan base, which one will support the album more. And then you got this other newer rapper, Ian, the white kid, who almost seems like he's trying to compete with Yeat. He's trying to drop at the same time too. And that's just, the beginning of it with the music stuff. I mean, we had like 3 Future albums this year. We had like 2 Kanye albums. One of them was absolutely trash. I mean, they both were kind of trash, but the last one was really bad. But just interesting how the music has kind of played out this year. I feel like it was a really good year for music. I feel like music's been pretty solid since 2020 when we had obviously the big delay and no one could do live shows, which was crazy. But we're kind of over the hump now. I feel like music's in a decent spot. A lot of people are eating. There are a lot of fan bases are eating right now, and that is a good thing. Transitioning into another prediction I have at the end of 2020, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles. I mentioned in last week's video that the Eagles should move on to being a power running team and just running Saquon Barkley essentially into the ground because they've got the biggest offensive line and they can just play bully ball. And when they absolutely need to throw the ball, I mean, who's stopping AJ Brown and Devontae Smith? I don't think anyone when you really know you need to throw the ball. I just don't want them to rely on passing the football. Now, do I think that they're going to do that? No, I do not think they're going to do that. They barely snuck past the Cleveland Browns. And if you know anything about football, the Cleveland Browns absolutely suck. They've sucked my entire life. They've never been good. And the Eagles had them at home in Philadelphia, and they struggled. They won, but they struggled. Now, Do I think that that means absolute doom and gloom for their season? No, but they also didn't necessarily execute the way I really kind of would have liked to see. They were coming off of a bye week too, which just makes the struggle even that much more damning. So we'll see what they end up doing moving forward. They still have a couple of week scheduled games in the next coming weeks. We'll see if they're able to put it together and actually not necessarily turn their season around, because it's not like it's a complete dumpster fire of a season. It's just that it could quickly turn into a very, very bad season. So I hope that they get it together. I'm more likely than not, my honest predictions is that they're going to end up being somewhere around 500. They're going to sneak past some of the better teams, and they're going to lose the teams that you think they should beat. And I don't think they're really necessarily a playoff winning team or a team that's going to win the Super Bowl. But obviously, that's why they play the games, and we're here to see the games. Now, we are at the end of the commentary here and the end of the gameplay. I died with 18 kills, and I actually had to rely on a random to actually make an attempt to clutch up. And when you see a random running around with akimbos and night vision goggles, do you think he's going to get the kill? Well, we were completely shocked. And that's pretty much the end of the video. If you liked, drop me a like and a comment down below. Again, want to reiterate, I am not streaming next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because Black Ops 6 is imminent. Once the game is released, I will be streaming, going hard, and the schedule will resume to Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 12 p.m. on your favorite streaming platform. Thank you guys very much. Everyone that watched the video last week, it did better than any video that I released at all this year. So we are absolutely on a run, and I'm not going to stop anytime soon. I'm enjoying this. So I hope you guys are here for the ride. Peace.
Half of us is either drunk or high.
Man,
We
go
are
slang
not
that
paying
EBT
attention to
card.
you, brother.
Good game. I dropped a 3 kill death ratio on your fed. You guys are mad. I get it. I'd be mad too. BeatStar.